Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Admiral Pegasus, and on today's show we're going to be talking about the jump from Ops 49 into G5. Yes, we're going from G4 to G5 today, and as most of you know, I went live on stream. I went straight from Ops 49 to literally as high as I could go. But what I wanted to do was just have a quick walk around the G5, show you what the changes that have come up, and then you can make the decision whether or not you think, well, when you think it's actually the right time for you to actually go up. Now, off the top here, I just want to say, as per usual, the biggest advice that any content creator is going to give you, make sure your efficiency researches are done, because you are going to need them, because things get a little bit pricey when you get into G5. Now, if we actually take a look at like my academy here, as you can see, yes, it's only $500 billion steel, but for just to take it to 52, I now need uncommons, which I can do, but as well, the amount of time that it actually takes. So you are going to be needing to really look at maybe using some of those XComs if you've been building them up, or making sure that you actually get a fair whack. Now, pretty much there's not much else I can show you. Oh, we can show you some generators. So it's like you've got 52 days a year, but it's not particularly that expensive to go to 51 on that one. But as you can see, the 51s that I've currently got here in the vaults, they are what's required to help you get up into Ops 52. So just a heads up there, you've got your usual, you need your ops, your academy, your R&D, and your shipyard as well. So it's like I've got my refinery there near the top of the screen, it's still level 50. My shipyard's at 51. My hangar though is still at 49. So there's one you don't need to worry about. I do have my astronautics studio at 50, which obviously really does help with the research cost efficiencies as well. So trying to keep that going with your research, to keep your research relatively cheap as well, is a good one. But if we actually look at this, obviously it's requiring commons, so Latinum is going to be another big thing that you're going to require. As you can see, to actually start this one, I'm going to need just under 28,000 Latinum to do. Bonus as well, you do not need to worry about this for going to Ops 52, is your docks and your guns. I'm currently working on them to obviously boost my power levels, because for most Ops 52 players, if they've actually been following the recommended guidance, usually they won't be doing Ops 52 until they're around about the 130 to 140 million power. Basically, a hell of a lot of research done and got some decent ships as well. Now, obviously, I do have a Tribune as well. Mine's only tier 6 at the minute. Obviously, working my way through this is going to be a hard graft, because the problem I have now is going to be not the materials so much, it's actually going to be, if we can just get it clicked up, is going to be the parts, because you're still going to get some. You are still going to get some, and there's still places that you can do, and we will show you in today's video. But you're pretty much going to lose most access to broken parts. And the biggest one, believe it or not, as stupid as it sounds, is unless you're prepared to go out and grind in specific systems. But that's if you are a grinder. But if you're not a grinder and you were using like the silent systems, if we can just get up to the silent systems, now you've lost this, you've lost that. Now, technically, you can still go in there and you can still grind out the parts for the refinery, should you so wish. However, the additional material currency that you actually get in there, once you turn Ops 51, becomes redundant. You can't use it, so you're basically going to be building up stuff in your inventory which you do not require, because when you actually look at what you actually get, if we click on artifacts, as you can see, mine's gone to G5 already. My Tribune cannot take those 51s on. It can, if I do some buffs and everything, but I can kill one, maybe two, but again, it's not going to be enough. As you can see at the top here, I've only got 510, and unfortunately, that's a far cry from the one chest. So unfortunately, I don't actually to me, I no longer have access to this chest until I have a stronger ship able to do it. But as well as another downside as well with this, you're losing your G4 parts. You're now gone straight onto G5. Yes, you still got your Prime Orbit medallions at 5, 10 and 20. Woo. But yeah, you're literally onto G5 parts now. So yeah. So just be aware of that one as well. I would say silence is not a big thing when it really comes to it, but it's there just to make you aware. Now, there are some other changes as well, like the Alliance tab, if we actually click on the Alliances tab. So, obviously, when you come into G5, for when you're Ops 48 and 49 and 50, obviously, you're going to have the G5 Zindi Uncommon Armada pack. As soon as you go into the G5, you're going to gain access to the rare one. As you can see, mine says 51 to 54. And obviously the Uncommon one changes to 51 as well. But in here, so just have a quick gander of what we've got in this. We've got some rare credits. We've got Dominion Solo. We've got Borg Solo. We've got some Verniculum fragments as well. And we've got also some epic artifacts. And then obviously a load of materials as well to go with it. And some more G5 ship parts. So nice amounts there. You got some temporal disruptors with a potential chance of 16,000. Yeah, that's not bad. Some Nova BPs, Northcote Vorchat, Corvus, Kois there. So you're going up to the rares now. So, and then obviously the... Wow, actually, you're going... I've not actually looked through this chest properly. You're actually going all the way up to the G5 epics, which is brilliant. And then also you got some officers. So this is really a good... This is looking to me like a really good chest. But again, it's going to be getting those directives, which is going to be a massive, massive pain in the ass. But as you can see, straight out, when you've done the uncommon, you get 200 directives. I'm not 100% convinced that's actually enough. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section down below. But obviously, here you're getting pretty much what you saw at the high end of G4. Moving further along as well, now you get the G5 Epic. I will add the screenshot in editing because obviously I've still got another day and a half to wait. So yes, it's going to take me a while to edit this one. There's a few screenshots that I want which are not available at current. But as well, you've got the G5 Rare Pack where you've got these rare tactical cores. Got a chance now of a 14 and an 1800. You're guaranteed 2,000 in the Epic one. So the Epic one is actually decent. One chest is 100,000 epic credits, so just be aware of that one. But as well here, like you got repair speed ups, which you'll have in the epic as well. You got 15 and 12 hour there. Then you've got the pick officers and the doctor, some credits, officer badges, and some officer XP as well. It's pretty pricey as well, so if you are into doing the armadas and really starting these armadas quite frequently, this is something you will be able to pull frequently. But if not, don't worry about it. You can still stick with your standard G3 ones as well. I am. Not a problem. They're nice and cheap. Consumables as well. There's not much change in these, but you will find some. I don't think there are any G5 ones in here. No, there aren't. Mine's still all G4. But yeah, if I go into here, you're going to find some G5 ones as well. And again, the price does not change on this, which is great. But the biggest one for those Armada players is going to be that 500% damage to Armadas. Now, there is another one in here that I want to pay special attention to, and that's on the far side there, is the 550% ship XP. Now, the G4 version is only 500%, so there's literally not much difference between the two. But hey, every little helps, that extra 50% ship XP, especially for these bigger ships would that require millions of XP just to level them up. So there's not much else I can figure out in there. So what we're going to do now is we're going to jump over to the, if the screen changes over, is we're going to jump over to the dailies because there are a number of changes in here. One big thing I will bring up in here is some changes to some of these missions. So it's like you've got accelerated bioform in there. Let me just have a quick look. Is that one of them? I know some, yeah, here it is. Some of these original ones have changed, and there is a massive increase in things like the speed ups, as you can see, using that 2.27 multiplier, I'm at 930 now. But as well with that Platinum as well, with that same multiplier, 18,000. I was pulling 15 to 16,000 beforehand. I was never breaching 18,000. And that's, to be honest, that's not the most optimal I can actually get. It's the max for the crits, but it's not the most powerful I can actually put on there. So I can actually breach that even higher as well. Credit one's another one, but as well, this collective bargaining also has seen a slight increase as well. I mean, actually, no, it hasn't. Sorry, no, it hasn't. That's a 3. That's a multiplier of 3. So yeah, that's not changed. But let's have a look. There is some other ones. Now you are going to get these extra ones as well, where you can actually get these alliance-based XComs. Here you've got a 200% damage against players, a PvP XCom for your alliance. If you are a heavy alliance into PvP, absolutely it's going to be a great one for you. There's mining, there's impulse speed, there's warp speed, there's armadas, and that's just the 4 that I can remember off the top of my head. So now the downside for these is they are going to require a new material called raw intelligence. If we actually just put an officer up there, it'll light it up for you. So now if you actually look closely, this one's got a green glow on it, so which means this is a Romulus raw intelligence. We'll cover raw intelligence in just a second. In fact, I'll tell you what, here we go, you can click it up there. And obviously, it's telling you there what you can actually use this intelligence for, which is research, away team science, refits, and more. So I'm not quite sure what refits you can actually do for it. I've not actually looked at that. Tell you what, we'll look at that a little bit later on. But yeah, so there is some massive improvements here in the away team store. I mean, it's like at the top there, geological evaluation. I'm now pulling G5 materials on that. So that is another great way to carry on through. Again, faction credits is still not going to be another big one. The shuttlecraft emblems, I can't remember what they're called. I just call them shuttlecraft. Again, they're still going to be very poignant. So there is still going to be a lot in here for you to actually look at. Now, in the dailies as well, there are going to be some changes to your days. Most notably is going to be this one here. As you can see, mine G5 materials. Now, this is what will change when you switch over to go Ops 51. And the rewards are plain and simple. Broken parts are now G5. So once you go G5, here's another point. You're losing the G4 parts. I used to get enough in here on the G4 parts to pull the single chest in the refinery for survey parts on G4. Now I'm getting G5, which means now I'm building towards the Nova and potentially, if I really want to go for them, the faction miners as well. Another one is the faction allegiance. As you can see, mine's now down to 10. That's because I'm Ops 52. I'm not quite sure what it is at Ops 51 because I went straight through it. I didn't even look at it. I think it might be 15, but you're down to 10. But to be perfectly honest, right, the rewards are not really changing that much. It's not as, it's a little bit more rhodidium, but that's about it. So yeah, not much change in that one. They're all the same. Prime real estate, again, now you're on 8-hour speed ups if you didn't already get them at 40. This is not one I didn't bother looking at because I wasn't really interested. But the one thing that did catch my eye is this one. I'm now getting day speed ups. Now, this is a change that I have noticed because of the colour. Not because of which one it is, it's because of the colour. It went from grey to gold. So that's how I know there was a nice change here. And so again, it's just making sure that I finished 2 research projects. It's no longer about power. It's about how much you do. So it's like, do 1 build in a day, 2 pieces of research, jobs are good. And so here's one for when you wanted to work up your levels and work out how fast you're going. Now you know, all you need is a minimum 2 a day. So it's like, if I picked 100 researchers before I moved up an ops level, then I'd be looking at, what, 50 days of this. Again, it's still something I'm going to have to track myself, but knowing the fact that all I need to do is 2 pieces of research, jobs are good. Hostile Hunter and Hostile Harbinger, again, these are still in existence. They're just basically telling you the higher levels. As you can see, I need to hit level 52 hostiles. Again, I'm on Ops 52, so which is understandable. But if we actually click on here again, at G4, I was getting enough for the G4 refinery. Since going G5, lost them. I've lost them. But as well now, I'm getting repair speed ups, so which is great, because obviously the repair times for some of these ships, my Tribune at tier 6 at the minute is 17 hours. It might be a little bit lower since I've upgraded my dock since I last repaired it, because I did do a rush literally about 12 hours ago on my docks. So but yeah, so you are losing your G4 parts, so just bear that in mind. They won't change until the faction changes. The mining, again, will not change until your faction reputation changes. Swarm does not change. It stays exactly the same. I mean, with the exception of the Slayer is turning around telling me that I need to hit 50 plus. So again, not a biggie. Two of them and jobs are good. Freebooters, again, that's telling me to hit 51 and above, but I always hit the 53s and higher anyway, so that's no problem for me. So there's a few changes in the dailies. Now, carrying on with the daily theme is daily events, the 6 and 12 hour events. Now, for those of you in the late G3 and G4 areas, you'll probably start thinking, well, these events are really not worth it or anything. And to be honest, you're right. Through G4, they're absolutely worthless. But now, once you enter G5, there's a complete change. Because you can see the amount of titanium I'm actually getting here for this research event. And if I click on there, I'm getting G5 parts and some G5 materials. They are small. Obviously, this is the top milestone. It is pathetically small. But again, it's still something. It's still that little bit extra. So, and then if we click onto the limited time one, again, this is going to literally just be steel and a little bit of materials on this. So it's a lot less payouts. But again, the material payouts in this one are a little bit higher. So it is now worth you actually making the effort to actually do these events and actually gain that little bit extra. Now, as a caveat here, I'm going to throw in what I would normally say with these, which is if they are going to cost you materials to complete and they are paying out materials, don't do it. For the simple fact is you are at a net loss on materials. You are at a net loss in materials. Now, the only way you get round that one is having a look, see what materials these are paying out, and then find something that takes some of the other two. So if this is paying out ore, then find something that's got gas and crystal, or gas or crystal. Use them as a pay-in to get the ore out. And that's if you need the ore. If not, I'd probably just recommend skipping them. But again, these events are now actually more valuable. There are some as well that's paying out decent levels of platinum as well. So I mean, one I found is paying me up to like nearly 8 to 10,000, somewhere in there. So for full completion, absolutely brilliant. So can't complain. Now, another event that is also that you'll find coming up, again, I'll do a screenshot adding on for the other one, is Pinnacle of Power. This is hostile hunt, the other one's mining. And basically mining is just like G5 materials or higher. This one is obviously killing hostiles at 51 or higher. So if we actually click on the hostiles, you can see, oh, sorry, 50 or higher. So you'll start seeing this obviously at 50. Start doing it because they are paying out raw, hang on, is it going to come up? Yeah, here we go. Raw intelligence, and this is what you're going to need. You're going to get 6,500 per event completion. So if you complete all 4 milestones, you'll walk away with 6,500 every single day. Now, how this runs between the arcs, I do not know. There is a lot of information I do not have because, well, I only went 52 like a week ago, and I thought I'd just work my way around it. And given we're in an event store month, I can't show you the events without going to stse.space. But then again, it's trying to find specific events doing actual proper payouts. So it's a little bit more digging and everything. But other than that, yeah, there's not much else you can say really. Obviously, when you do go G5, if you do G5 before the arc starts, a minimum 3 days before the arc starts, you will see some changes in your battle pass. Me, obviously, I went if it's going to select, thank you. I went 52 after the arc started. So no matter what I did, unfortunately, I'm still going to be getting G4 materials. Now, this will change for me when I do next month. So I'll start getting the G5 as well as the G4. I'm not quite sure G3 is still in there, but again, what's something we'll see. Maybe if you are a G5 player watching this, please comment in the section down below. So again, the payouts obviously for resources as well, most likely going to be higher because obviously you do need those higher levels of resources. Refinery is going to be your next one. Now, this is where I'm going to really go through this a little bit more in depth. So as you can see, I've got G5 materials at the minute, and at current, yes, I can get uncommons. Yes, I can get commons. At the minute, as I'm doing like the 2 chest pulls on these, because I'm making sure that I mine enough to do the 2 chest pulls twice a day. Oh, so 3 chest pulls. Sorry, not a 2 chest pull. 2 chest pulls the first one. Now, obviously, there is going to be research in the research trees to actually boost these and give you an extra chest. If you can do them, I'd highly recommend it that you do. There are also some primes which will become available to you in G5, which will require G5 material. So again, check them out. If they're there, if you can do it, get them done. Just get them done. Even if it is a tiny, pathetic little increase, then so what, you've got them done and they're done and dusted. The next one is going to be ship parts. Again, as you can see, my refinery for G4 parts is kind of stuck. That's a prime. That's already a prime. Waste of time now. Waste of time for me. I'd have to go grind these parts out for me to actually do that. So, but yeah. So when you actually look at this, as you can see, I can only get common parts right now because, well, I'm below Ops 53. Once I go to 53, I'm sure that's where the uncommons come in. Please, if that is wrong, correct me in the comment section down below. So just get these quickly pulled because I saved these for actually recording this video as I would normally do. So moving on further, then territory. Keep the cost here at the bottom out so you can see it. But at the minute is, yeah, I can only do the 3 chest pull. The prices have gone up. So you will need to mine more and more. So doing the Exborg the Exborg efficiency chest for Isogen is really not going to be worth it because even the 7 chest one at 2,800, you're pretty much going to have to do that every 2 days just to actually get through this. So, but again, this is something you can look at yourself and have a look at. Here, the cost of progenitor stuff, as you can see, 10,000 for a single chest or 100 chests at 1 million. Me, I have a tendency at the minute to just build all these up as much as I can. And then as soon as somebody deals with the territory stuff from my alliance says, guys, we need a load of this, I can come in, bang, 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 jobs are good, thank you, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, would be the phrase I'd use there. So, resources as well coming up. There's not much, actually, no, not in there. Right, Borg Tech. So, obviously, when you go into G5 as well, you're going to be able to upgrade your specialty ships. Now, because we went to this part of the refinery, let's start talking about your specialty ships. So, you can upgrade your Talios now. And obviously, upgrading your Talios means these increase in cost. So, just bear that in mind when you actually do them. Yeah, so just show you the cost that I'm actually paying. Obviously, if you got the primes as well, there's a specific prime that will give you the extra chests as well. Obviously, going up with the Talios as well. As you can see, mine's tier 9 now. I think I can take mine to tier 10, actually. Again, the cost of directives go. That's a Vidar tier 9, sorry. Here we go, the Talios, 180 directives for 90,000 charged nanopros. Now, if you actually work that out, basically, that's like 2 directives each. And if we go back into here, 100 directives for 28,000. 28,000, so 90,000. That's like just over 3 times as much for that other chest than it is for this one. Yes, you're getting an extra 80 directives, but that's not even twice. That's not even 2 times extra. It's 0.8 times. So realistically, the other chest is really not good for value. I mentioned this in the Borg video, so yeah. Also, the cost of the value of these also goes up as well. Don't go up by much, but hey, every little helps if you really want to actually pull them. So that's the Borg. Now, Latinum, again, you can upgrade your feature. As soon as you go 50, you can take it straight to tier 12. I've gone straight to tier 12, and this is what I'm pulling now. 15,000 Latinum per chest, 1.5 million. Again, the X-Borg efficiency chest is still going to be valuable. Instead of it now being 8 days for me. Oh, sorry, no, hang on. What was it I was pulling? I was pulling a fair whack, wasn't I? I think, no, it was almost like 21 days or something like that every time I pulled that. So obviously that's going to drop now because I'm not spending 500,000. I'm spending 1.5 million. So that's probably knocked it down to about a week for me. But again, this is just the standard one, which I'm going to keep pulling. And now for the feature, this is actually nice for the feature, because what you're getting here is you're going to get both G4 and G5 parts. This is nice. So it does not matter about upgrading the feature. Get it upgraded. Yes, you can go mine faster. Hell, if you got the whip, Jesus Christ, you're necking the biggest concentrated Latinum node. But in here, you're getting G4 and G5. Yes, the G5 is only common. It's only common. But again, that says for Ops 51 to 52. So once I go to 53, that's going to go up again. I don't know if the G4 parts will still be available at Ops 53, but again, that's something we'll see. So here's like, I can still work on these parts. I don't know why I'm going Inceptors because I've got no Inceptors left. But Battleship parts, absolutely, I still need the Battleship parts for my Tribune. But you can see pretty much what I'm getting here. This, I still need for things like my Cerritos and my Titan A. So, absolutely worth pulling the G4s on that one. And then obviously the surveys, because obviously I'm operating my 3 main survey ships out on G5 nodes. So, you've got them. Next up is going to be Voyager. Now, here in Voyager, at the minute, as you can see, mine still says tier 7. The reason being, these are still G4 parts. If I go tier 8, these will disappear and they will be replaced with G5. So, if there's one ship that you want to hold back, if you're still working on G4, is Voyager. Make sure you hold it back. It's not going to hurt you because of the Mirror Universe chest. So if you go up to the Mirror Universe, scroll across to the Mirror Efficiencies, you've got this, you got your Voyager. This is the only incentive to actually push Voyager up. But again, I can't pull it because I haven't got enough Trillium D. But again, you're going to get enough, you'll get your Comma Signas, you get your anomaly samples, you get your exotic biotoxins. So realistically, you don't need to send Voyager out anymore. You're basically tearing it up for this chest. So realistically, you keep, for me, at current, it's more valuable for me for keeping Voyager at tier 7 so I can keep claiming these parts as well. Obviously, when I do go tier 8, everything does change, and it's like the other chest that I pull is the feature for the Latinum. Again, the Latinum in there is going to go shooting up for me. As well, when you go to G5, you will get the grade 5 G5 Voyager's coaxial warp drive, so which means you can send it to tier 8. Careful, because you can claim this as many times as you want. I still got a G4 left over, but I'm not planning on building another Voyager. So there is that. Now the Monovine as well, when you can go tier it up if you want, but the one thing is with the tier up, when you do the automatic shipyard, all the materials in here are G5. So if you still need G4, this is going to be another ship that you will hold back if you want to. You don't have to. But if you're still doing G4, you could hold it back. But then again, a lot of content creators say don't hold it back. The Monovine really becomes more valuable in G5. Okay? Fair dues, I don't actually know because I don't really do many of these. I've got loads of directives to get through. It'll take me the better part of like 3 hours to get through them all, even with speed ups. So, but again, you get in the uncommons, epics, rares, and uncommons. You got 2 chests costs, 1 chest and 2 chests. So it's up to you what you do. Now the big one for the Monovine when you do tier it up, as you can see, tier 8 Monovine and the ops level that I'm at, what you're actually getting. And if we actually just quickly look at this, I did show this off in the live stream, but again, so if we jump to the bottom half, so if you look at tier 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, high levels of resources here as well. The cost hasn't changed, it's still 500 for the 3 chest. Again, as you can see, I've got 61,000. I can pull this every single day and I could really be topping up my materials. Realistically, for going further, I should be, because I'm sitting at 52 for a little bit. Now, I will say before I carry on, there is a little bit of debate out there. How far should you go into G5 before you sit in camp? There are some saying that you should basically go up to G56 to get that rare and then just camp there and catch up. Do soft camping through the 50s just to, you know, tie yourself over, get yourself in the materials, get some bits and bobs done, and then move up. So you can look at it that way. But as well, you've got the solo leaderboard brackets if you actually want to look at that aspect, where at the minute in G5, yes, I'm going to be amongst other G5 players, but I've heard that some brackets from 56 onwards, you'll be with the G6 players. So this is just some stuff I've heard. Obviously, I don't know it myself because I'm not there yet. But then again, with the solo leaderboards, I don't really chase them that much. So, but I know for a fact that I am in the bracket with all the G5s. And I think there's a couple I think there is a couple of G6 players in there as well, but I'm not 100% sure about checking them all, and I'm not going to do that on video. But absolutely, you can work your way through your material, your resources, gaining them as you go. Eviscerator. Now, I am going to bring the Eviscerator in on this one, primarily because of the parts side. Now, obviously, I don't have the Eviscerator at current, but the early tiers of the Eviscerator do pay out G4 parts. So, obviously, claiming this Eviscerator Refinery, you're going to get the Apex ship parts, which you can then claim for ship parts when you've actually got the Eviscerator. So, again, the Eviscerator is going to be valuable to you if you are in the early 50s and it's not got, and you haven't got it yet. So when you do get it, it will become valuable, and you can use that to get more G4 parts to get that Tribune, the Enterprise A, or the Hector up to a decent tier. So the Eviscerator is valuable. NX01, there's no point covering that one because you don't need to worry about it. So now another sort of like a 50-50 one with how you see this is going to be entirely up to you, is going to be the Bajoran faction store. If we get onto it, because when you actually go through it, the material claims that you would normally be claiming through the G4 at level 50, apparently they do pay out a lot more rares. So obviously, if you don't want to go into G5 yet, work on that one. But obviously, all your material claims go on to G5, and then as you can see, the cost across the bottom here, yes, the grayed out because I pulled it already this morning, hence the timer. So payouts aren't particularly too bad. It's still one of the best sources in the game as far as I'm concerned, because it is helping me build up, especially if you can even pull this one, which requires the Bajoran token, so watch out for that. Also, as we all know, the cost of all these loot exchanges do go up. As you can see, the red over there, that's now my maximum that I need. So realistically, I want to be looking at doing 4 uncommons a day as a bare minimum. Well, actually, probably as a max, because not 4 uncommons, sorry, 2 uncommons a day. And then obviously, over the lifetime of this chest, that'll be 4. So just to try and keep on top of that 3 chests. But the one thing is as well, while you're doing that, when it comes to the rare and the epics. It's ever diminishing, so which basically means you're going to end up with less directives available to do more of these and keep that 3 chests going. So it might be more practical to say, right, okay, I'm not going to get enough to actually do the 3 chests all the time. I'll stick with the 2 chests. Now, there are various ways out there to help you gain more loot. Was it some primes or something like that? There's a couple of different pieces of research, I can't remember which ones they are, that will actually help you gain more of these loot when doing the Armada. So then you can go back onto the 3 chests. But if you've not got those pieces of research or bits and bobs, wherever they are, then I would strongly recommend saying, look, right, to yourself, look, I'm going to have to pull myself back a little bit here. Maybe not the 3 chests. 2 chests, that's still going to give me 1 epic every 3 days. So I can't grumble with that. So, and another thing in here as well is you're going to get the G5 warp token for the new warp travel. So now, we mentioned raw intelligence earlier. Where are you going to get that? Well, you're going to get it in your faction stores. Now, the beauty with this, there is a beauty with it. If we're going to get, there we go, is there's no cooldown timer on these things. Here's your cost. It's perfectly linear. So I'm at the minute just doing the single chest pull every single day until I reach, in the raw, 15,000. Because then I can pull the 5 chests. But if we just pull this, come on, here we go. So I've got 500. Come out, no cooldown timer. No cooldown timer. So that's going to be brilliant for me, so I can keep pulling these as often as I want. Or I can just save up that raw intelligence and then do a mass exodus on pulls at some point to actually help me. Now, obviously, as we saw, that these intelligence are going to pay for things like research. They're going to pay for your away teams. And they're going to pay for some refits as well. So now let's see if some of them have come up available to look at. Because I didn't know there was actually covering refits as well. So unless that's something they added in but never actually switched it on. So it's quite possible with Scopely. So Armory for the refits. And if there actually, yeah, you've got to be looking where the actually sourcing these. But yeah, so we won't bother with that. I just remembered you need to actually figure out where to source the actual blueprints for these. So I might chase that one up and see if I can find somewhere. But on the whole, that's G5, really. There's not much difference from what you originally do in G4. Yes, it's going to give you that opportunity to go off ahead. I will say that the last treasuries really helped me. I mean, it's like now to 1.2 trillion Tritanium, for God's sake. Incursions are going to love me. So, but yeah. So that's G5. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Is this something that... Has this video been helpful, actually, would be the best question to ask. Has it been helpful to help you decide whether or not you want to go into G5 yet? Is it put you on the fence? It's like, oh, I want to go into G5. I want to get that raw intelligence. I want to do that. But... now, quick caveat here as well. You're not going to be able to do the super highways until you get to at least Ops 53. So don't think that you can actually go through that. But, hey-ho, it's there ready for you. Just build up the materials so that way you can get them unlocked and really go for it. But anyway, thank you for joining me. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. If you wish to donate to the channel, PayPal, Cash App are available. Until then, I'm Admiral Pegasus. Thank you for joining me. Stay safe, live long and prosper, and I shall catch you on the next one. Goodbye.